Good morning. These are the 9 generally accepted rules that I broke in order to be able to buy 2 properties in less than 5 years on a part-time job. Rule number 1, I did not get a mortgage. I lived debt-free. I had a pool of cash that I could pull from. So both my properties were purchased with cash. Number 2, I did not go out and find a real estate agent, build a relationship with them, and have them show me multiple properties over several months. I researched the properties that I wanted to buy. Then I called the listing agent. Now, while the listing agent is motivated to sell that property, they cannot represent both the seller and the buyer. But most real estate offices have multiple agents. If the listing agent cannot sell you that property, there is someone else in the office that will represent the buyer in the transaction. So, had my research done ahead of time, knew what I was looking for, contacted the listing agent and asked them, would you like to sell a house today? Number 3, I refused to get a credit report and a pre-authorization letter. I was making a cash purchase. I did have real estate agents that would not work with me because I was not going through this process. I saw no reason for it. It was a cash purchase. They want you to be pre-approved so that they can show you properties in slightly higher markets than what you're looking for. So in case you don't have the money to buy it, they can push you into getting a mortgage and buying a property that is out of your price range. I won't do that, and I am very clear. A price range between here and here, don't go over it. Also, this will set people off. I had no home inspections done. Reason being, it can slow down the process, but the main reason is a home inspector cannot see anything in that home that I can't see. As a buyer, I can take in my own ladders, I can take in my flashlights, and I can inspect that home from top to bottom. Home inspectors cannot see behind walls. You'll pay several $100s to have a home inspection done, and they can still make mistakes. I know of instances where inspectors have failed to find uncapped gas lines, electrical problems, and everything else. So, because of the type of homes I buy, I don't pay for a home inspection. I just assume everything is wrong with them. Also, number 5, I do not go to growing, up-and-coming communities to find my homes. I do the opposite of what a real estate agent or a financial advisor will tell you. I go to the depressed areas. Now, you need to make sure if you're going to do this, you are going to look for areas that may be financially depressed but are safe communities. I will not go in to an area where there is a high crime rate and so on like that. I just go to communities where you have a lot of working poor people. Number 6 is I always purchase fixer-uppers. You need to realistically assess your skills if you decide to do this. You need to know what you can do, financially where you stand, and how you're going to get it done. Because if you cannot do the work yourself, or the majority of the work yourself, you are going to have to hire somebody to do it. I also try to look in areas where they have more relaxed zoning laws, because some areas you get into, there's a lot of home improvements that unless you're licensed, you cannot do yourself. I go to areas where I know I can legally do the majority of the repairs myself. Also, number 7, I was willing to take a gamble. I knew when I purchased this place that there was a very high probability I would have to drill a new well, which I did do. So, while I'm willing to take that gamble, I make sure that I have a cash reserve that I can pull from to pay for that. Now, when I bought the first home after my divorce, I did something I generally will not recommend anyone do. But I purchased a home in a town and a community that I knew absolutely nothing about. I wouldn't recommend that, but I did break that rule. And I only broke that rule because I felt like I was working with a reputable listing agent. She grew up in the area, and she was able to tell me about a lot of the people in the area. Most of them were longtime residents who were living in or nearby homes that they grew up in. This was a community where the people in that community had been there for a number of generations. And number 9, the first home I purchased, I was willing to sell it under what I could have gotten for it, because I needed to make a quick sell. I purchased my second home before my first home was sold. So I needed to sell that house quickly. I had to finish renovations in a very short span of time. So the renovations I was doing, I finished, I listed, and I had an offer which I accepted in less than 24 hours. These may not be rules you want to break. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a real estate agent. This is my story alone. I can't tell you what to do, but it does pay to think outside the box. Thank you, and you have a great day.